In Victoria, there are laws that everyone needs to abide by. Laws are like special rules. Laws reflect the values of our society and promote what is acceptable behaviour. If you break the law, you can get into trouble with the police. We are going to talk about the laws in Victoria. If you live in another state, the laws might be different. This video is about sexual consent. Although it might be uncomfortable to talk about, it is really important that everyone knows the rules. We have parts on our body that are private. We will call them private parts. These are the parts of our bodies that we keep covered up. When we go swimming, we wear bathing suits to keep these body parts private. Sexual touching is touching of your private parts. What is sexual consent? Consent is when both people freely agree to any sexual touching and behaviours. Consent means asking if your partner is okay with each type of sexual activity. How do you know if someone gives you consent? Simple. You ask them. We will see what happened with Tom and Amy and explain more along the way.
Hi, I'm Tom and I'm 16 years old.
And I'm Amy. I'm 16 too.
We love each other. I really want to touch you on your private parts.
I'm not sure. I don't feel ready.
Tom is Amy's boyfriend. Should she just say yes? Does she have to say yes? No, Amy is in charge of her body and can say no to any private touching. If Tom touches her without her permission, he is breaking the law.
I really want to touch you on your private parts. Are you ready yet?
I do love you, but I don't want to do this.
If you really loved me, you would let me do it.
I'm not feeling good about this. It's making my tummy feel funny.
Our body can give us signs to warn us that we might not be safe or that something is happening that makes us feel yucky. If you're feeling any of the early warning signs, it is okay to leave. Please talk to a trusted adult about it. Touching someone without permission on their private parts is against the law and is called sexual assault.
I'm confused. I love Amy and I thought she loved me.
Even if someone loves you, they can say no to private touching. Amy is in charge of her body. She does not have to say yes to any touching she doesn't want.
Tom, I like kissing you, and I would like you to touch me, but only above my waist.
Are you sure?
Yes, I feel ready now.
Amy is in charge of her body and can agree to private touching. She has given Tom her clear consent to specific touching.
Hey!
Sorry, I got carried away. You said I could touch you.
I didn't say you could touch me there.
Stop. Remember the rules. Touching someone without permission on their private parts is against the law and is called sexual assault. Just because Amy has said yes to some touching, it doesn't mean she has given consent to Tom to touch her in other places. He must stop.
I like kissing you.
I like kissing you too. Don't do that.
I thought you were okay with this. You let me do it before.
I don't want to today.
Remember that consent is about both people freely agreeing to any sexual activity. Just because Amy has said yes to Tom touching her before, it doesn't mean she has given her consent this time.
Tom is asleep. I'm going to touch him on his private parts. That way it won't be so embarrassing for me.
Stop. Tom is asleep, so can't give consent. Amy must not touch Tom on his private parts when he is asleep. You cannot give consent if you are asleep or affected by alcohol or drugs. Remember, all people must give their clear consent to say any sexy touching is okay. If Amy goes ahead, she will be breaking the law. This is called sexual assault.
I'm so excited that we are alone together.
I'm excited too, but a bit nervous.
Are you sure you want to do some more sexy touching, even without our clothes on?
Yes, I'm sure.
Tom and Amy both consent to sexy touching without their clothes on.
What's wrong? I thought we were having fun.
I've changed my mind. I don't want to do this.
But you said yes, and I still want to do it.
Amy has withdrawn her consent. Tom needs to respect this. Consent can be withdrawn at any time. This means that even if you said yes to anything sexual, you can change your mind at any time.
It isn't fair. You said you would, and if you really loved me, you wouldn't stop. You have to let me do it.
I have changed my mind.
We really need to talk about this.
Remember the rules. Touching someone without permission on their private parts is against the law and is called sexual assault. If Tom continues to touch Amy, he will be breaking the law and could be charged with sexual assault.
Amy, I really like you, and I don't want to hurt you. I want to touch you, but we need to talk about the rules, so that we can both understand and respect them. I don't want to get into trouble with the police either.
I really like you too. I don't want to hurt you either. Let's remind ourselves of the important messages.
Consent must be given freely by everyone involved. That means you are both okay with the sexy touching you are talking about. Consent can't be given freely if someone is pressured or threatened. Consent can be taken away at any time. If someone said yes before, it doesn't mean they give their consent again. You cannot consent if you are asleep or affected by alcohol, medication or drugs. Consent must be given every time. Yes, every time. Even if you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean you have to say yes or that someone has to agree to anything that you want to do. Touching anyone like a classmate, teacher, friend or stranger on their private parts without their permission is never okay and is against the law. Remember the early warning signs. They are telling you that something isn't okay.
That's a lot to remember.
It sure is, but I'm happy we know the rules. It is really important.
What if you don't say yes, but I think you want to?
I might be scared to say no. What's the rule about that?
Just because someone doesn't say no, it doesn't mean it is a yes. Do they look uncomfortable, scared, or are they trying to pull away? Ask them, is this okay with you? Can I do this? If you don't have a clear yes, it means no.
Okay, I get it now.
Yes, I understand.
Remember to talk to a trusted adult if anything doesn't feel okay.